Well, hey guys, welcome to Gun News and Reviews. I'm David Drake. Today we're going to do some follow-up and additional discussion about a concealed carry firearm I recently picked up. It's Sig P320 C for compact, okay? The reason I'm doing a follow-up video is I've had the opportunity now to put about 600 to 620 rounds through this firearm, and wanted to give you some additional thoughts on shooting it, ergonomics, as well as some of the things that are discussed in terms of negatives for this firearm. Can't talk about the Sig P320 without talking about drop test failures, kind of reminiscent of the old Remington 700 trigger issue. Couldn't make it go away by ignoring it. Military wasn't going to ignore it, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. First of all, we're taking a look at what is virtually the same firearm, minus a few things that aren't needed, like external safeties on the military version. This is the P320 Compact again. We're going to talk about the trigger in particular, and not the way it breaks or anything like that, but if you watch, during a drop test coming down, the slide, the frame, and everything stops, the trigger would continue to travel. Well, why was that? It's because it had too much mass, so they slimmed it down quite a bit. The new triggers are on the left. The other thing they did was add a disconnect in the slide, as well as some other working parts. The easiest way to tell if you've got a SIG that has an okay, safe drop test version is to look right there and see that notch. If that notch where I'm pointing my pen doesn't exist, then you don't have a version that's considered drop test safe. Looking here at the SIG website, they go into a little bit of detail and tell you the same thing that I just told you. What I don't understand is why they didn't do just a full recall. I'm sure accountants and lawyers were involved, but I think hurt SIG's reputation. Now, talking about rounds downrange, well, that's why I got this sucker. Let's talk about that a little bit more. The shooting that I've done with this firearm has been strictly shooting brass ammo, so I haven't tested steel case or aluminum case through it, but I've tested just about every kind of full metal jacket, hollow point, plus P, everything, and sometimes I'll even mix the loads in the magazine just to see if it makes any difference. Now, the slide release is ambidextrous. Here you see me using the side I don't normally use. It doesn't get in the way, that's what counts. Also, what counts is the fact that this is one of the most balanced pistols I've ever shot. Now, the sights on my version are nothing special. They're 3 white dots, 2 in the rear, 1 up front, very reminiscent of a Glock style. However, unlike Glock, they are made out of steel, not nylon. Also taking a look at round indication. Well, one thing you can easily do is see that nickel casing right there in that gap visually. Also, you'll notice that the extractor unit is going to slightly protrude, so you can feel that with your finger. Now here I've discharged that round, and it's a much flusher fit to the side of the frame. As mentioned in the prior video, magazine release is accessible, but it doesn't get in the way. I don't believe that I would accidentally discharge a magazine that way. Also, the trigger is a 6-pound pull. In addition to that, it has a very crisp and predictable reset, coupled with the fine balance and lack of perceived recoil. Makes it a real easy firearm to shoot. So I just wanted to share some additional thoughts with you today after spending some more trigger time with this firearm. A lot of that trigger time was spent doing double taps, triple taps, magazine dumps. How does this thing do? And mostly what strikes me is, besides having an incredible trigger compared to the Glocks I'm used to shooting, it also has dependability and reliability like I need. It tends to like all ammo, regardless of grain weight or any of that, hollow point or not. Also, what I like about this firearm is that it just doesn't malfunction anyway. And you don't expect a lot of modern firearms to do that, but sometimes they do. There should be no break-in period on a polymer pistol. That's a statement that I'm just going to make. If it doesn't shoot flawlessly right out of the box, you probably have a problem. It's not like the old full metal frames where it's metal on metal and over time something's going to wear down and then just be perfect, like that 1911 with a couple thousand rounds through it. In the polymer world, if something comes out of the box and it doesn't act exactly the way it's supposed to, it's not a break-in period, it's a manufacturing issue, or it could even be a design issue. The Sig P320 C, excellent firearm, I would have to say. I told you I love this gun when I did the original impression video, and I continue to tell you that. So we'll keep track of round counts. We'll tell you how it's doing. I'll be the first guy to tell you if there's kind of a malfunction or anything like that. But so far, so good. Love the Sig P320 C. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more gun news and reviews, please like and subscribe.